This is how we do it. This is how we do it. It's Friday night, and I feel alright. Oh boy. Black Panther is the latest addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's directed by Ryan Coogler, who brought us Fruitvale Station and Creed, neither of which I've seen. But yeah, it's insane to think about how much hype and build-up films have these days, especially when they are part of these enormous franchises. That's just the times, I guess. Did this movie live up to that? For a lot of people it did. It's not like I really went into this thing with enormous expectations. I understood that a lot of people feel that this film is culturally significant, and in a lot of ways it really is. So that at least makes it special. I'll just begin with the stuff that I liked first. Chadwick Boseman is an incredibly charming, charismatic, cool, collected guy. He seems like respectable and grounded as a character. He's inherently likable. Michael B. Jordan, who everybody is talking about, did a fucking tremendous job. He was really good in this. He was excellent. He had some very interesting motivations as a character, but he didn't have a whole lot to do. It's not like he had a lot of really great dialogue or scenes that made you actually fear him. And Lupita Nyong'o. She was great, as she always is. The girl who played his sister was fine. She was very sweet and cute. A lot of the jokes that she had to say were really groan-worthy, particularly...
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions for my report?
Sure. What would you like to know?
What are those? I was baffled. I couldn't believe that they put that in there. Martin Freeman is always really genuinely warm and likable. And Andy Serkis just chewed up the scenery. He was having a really good time. I was kind of worried and upset when they killed him halfway through this film, but reintroducing Michael B. Jordan made up for his absence very easily. But all the acting was really good. There were some genuinely emotional scenes and everybody handled it very well, and I'm happy about that. There was a real focus on the characters and the internal challenges that they had to face, and we like and understand every single one, even the villains. There are some truly emotional themes going on with this, such as responsibility and family and death and revenge, so that all worked out really well. It was thematically interesting. The costumes in this thing are fucking astounding, and the production design were all really well done. The world of Wakanda, even though they really didn't delve too much into the specifics, was really well stylized, and I thought it looked dope. I thought it was awesome. The way that they were able to incorporate African culture, and this term that I hadn't heard about till incredibly recently, Afrofuturism, they really put a lot of thought and care into the visual aesthetic of this world, of this movie, of these people. I'm glad that so much focus was put into that. And kind of springing off from the culture is the mythology. There's a point where after you are inducted into becoming a king for Wakanda, they give you this like juice that makes you trip the fuck out, and they bury you, and you're able to go basically to the afterlife, or like a version of the netherworld, and interact with your deceased ancestors. I really liked that idea. That was dope. Everything else about it was not that great. First of which are the action sequences. The big problem that I had with the action scenes in this movie is a lot of them felt pretty obligatory. You have that first action sequence in the forest in pitch dark. You have that fight, that challenge on the top of the waterfall, which was pretty okay. You have the scene in the casino, which was honestly like really cool. I think that was the point that I was enjoying Black Panther the most. It's made to look like one shot, and it's pretty well done. Unfortunately, they incorporate a lot of CGI in that shot, and it takes you out of the moment. It leads into the car chase sequence, which was okay. It was very forgettable and inconsequential. You have another challenge fight scene on the top of the waterfall, and that was most interesting because of the dramatic stakes and the tension that was happening between these two characters. That's what makes it interesting. And then you have that big bombastic action scene that happens at the end of every superhero film, and it's just so dull and lame. The fact that Black Panther and Killmonger are fighting in this dark subway track system, it sucked. And it looked silly as fuck. Again, like the CGI that was used like really hurt these action sequences. They just look so dated that it takes you out of it. And they're flying around like crash test dummies. It just doesn't look convincing. The action sequences were not that good. And that's not a huge deal. As long as like the rest of the movie is entertaining, it can get away with subpar action sequences, but I wasn't entertained by this movie very much. I thought it was very slow. It just wasn't interesting to watch. None of this is any of the filmmakers' fault, really. It's directed really well. It's acted really well. It just doesn't challenge the Marvel formula. And it's unfortunate because it just makes the movie predictable. It just felt way longer than it was. When Michael B. Jordan fucking throws Black Panther off the waterfall, I was just like, holy shit, like there's still like 45 minutes left in this fucking movie. It's just like, we know this process by now. And it's okay for a movie to fall into predictability, as long as it's entertaining. But I didn't feel that it was. There was a point towards the end, you have Bilbo Baggins flying around this technologically superior aircraft. Black Panther and Killmonger are fighting in this weird, dark, like, subway platform. And everyone else from Wakanda is just brutally murdering each other. And at that point, I was like, what am I getting out of this? Like, it's just another standard Marvel movie. And I don't give a fuck about anything because I know how it's gonna turn out. I have a lot of respect for what this movie represents, but it doesn't automatically make it a great movie. And again, a lot of it was well done. I think I'm just over Marvel movies, but I'm in the minority. I think everybody really loves it and it affected them emotionally. So to the 10 people that are watching this, I don't know. Don't worry about it.